my mom came into the room and she's like, look at my phone. And then I couldn't see it, so I had to look at mine. I'm like, oh.
I can't bet against Tom Brady. I have the Bucks winning 31-27 and Tom Brady going to his 10th championship.
Yeah, and I really think the Clippers' chance to win the championship was last year. And they were up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets.
Chris Paul is one of the most underrated players of all time. He's been the best player wherever he goes, and that includes with the Rockets.
You said you can't bet against Tom Brady, and as a Cowboys fan and what I just did last weekend, I am not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, that's all I can really say. There's two of the top 5 players in the league, and they are very, very good.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hearn, and you listen to the Outsiders' Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. I am joined by the man that it's surprising the moves that I didn't realize Justin Verlander returned to Detroit, where he also pairs up with Framber Valdez, who, as they were both on the Houston Astros. But neither of them made the ace because you have Tariq Skubal still at Detroit.
Yeah, Skubal's still there. Obviously, there was the whole debacle with Skubal not wanting. Skubal wanted to get paid more, and the Tigers not wanting to want to give him that. The arbitration kind of went a little bit crazy because the difference was a lot. There was a $13 million difference. Skubal wanted $32 million. The Tigers wanted $19 million. But he won the arbitration case, so he's going to pay $32 million. And because he deserved it. I mean, he's a Cy Young winner and one of the best pitchers in the sport, if not the best pitcher in the sport at the moment. And the Tigers are going to have to take advantage of his time with the team. And his last 3 years, he's been remarkable. He had a 2.8 ERA in 2023 in only 15 games. The last 2 years, he's been an MVP candidate, let alone Cy Young winner the past 2 years, and has been arguably the best pitcher in the sport. Can they take advantage of it with one of their best pitchers in the history of the franchise, and Justin Verlander coming back? Last year, Verlander pitched a lot better than people understand. He had a 3.85 ERA, and while he did miss some games with injury, he pitched in 29 games. I know he went 4-11 as a record, but a 3.85 ERA is serviceable. He also had a 3.85 FIP, so his FIP wasn't affected. He had an ERA plus above average. And then, like you mentioned, they now have Framber Valdez. And Valdez is a guy that obviously has pitched with the Astros. He won a World Series. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's been top 5 in Cy Young voting before. Last year was probably his worst year of his career during this time at a 3.66 ERA. The year before that, 2.91. The year he was 5th in Cy Young voting, he had a 2.82. That was also the year they won the World Series. And in the playoffs, he's had some good runs, some bad runs. But I expect this to be a very good pitching staff. And the Tigers are going to be a team that this is the last year of Skubal potentially. Are they going to be able to take advantage of it?
Yeah, and looking at the rotation, Skubal, of course, is one, if not the best pitcher right now. But yeah, he's number one on our list. But you have Jack Flaherty, and then it listed as their 5th starter on ESPN.com is Casey Mize, 4th is Justin Verlander. That is a solid rotation. And you bring up the contract with Skubal. Part of it is, are the Tigers willing to pay the amount for Skubal? I think they will end up doing it because they're showing investments with Framber Valdez. Valdez is more of a 3-year contract. To me, that shows more of their commitment than signing Justin Verlander to a 1-year deal, as Verlander is older. And it was late in the season. And another part is I think the Tigers want to show Skubal that they are going to be competitive if he signs with them, because Skubal is a competitive player. Of course, every player, but when you're at the top of your game, that is a competitive guy. He wants to pitch in the postseason, wants to display his dominance in the postseason. So to me, that is why making these moves, bringing Framber Valdez, Justin Verlander as well. They also have a lot of young guys. I believe they've re-signed Gleyber Torres. You have Riley Green. this is a big part of them showing Skubal that he can get to the playoffs in Detroit. I think that is something that is going to play a part in him coming back to Detroit.
Yeah, but the Tigers are going to have to pay him a lot of money. He's the best pitcher, if not maybe the second best pitcher. If you think Skeens is better, I'd get it. But a back-to-back Cy Young winner, not many people have done that ever. Reminds me of old Pedro in the late 90s. But he is someone that is going to get paid for his worth. And they wanted to pay him only $19 million this year. He remembers that. And he obviously is going to get paid $32 million. I just hope that the Tigers are willing to pay him what he's worth. Because if not, then they have to either risk trading him at the deadline for less than value, because you're not going to get a guy like this again, or you let him go in free agency, where if he reaches free agency, you don't know if he's coming back or not, and you could lose him for nothing. Now, if you this year go on a crazy run and win a World Series, which I think is possible with how good their pitching staff and their team is, as long as Riley Green, some of these other guys still keep improving. Maybe they call up McGonigal, the shortstop, as well. But I don't know what's going to happen. Do they re-sign him mid-season? A lot of players don't like to talk mid-season about contracts. If you don't re-sign him by the time the season starts to an extension, then do you play the season out, or do you wait until the offseason and try to sign him there, when the risk is you lose him for nothing and it's one of the best pitchers in a generation?
Well, and you talk about going to free agency. His agent is Scott Boras, who doesn't really like to sign guys before they hit free agency. So I think a lot of it is you're going to have to go to Detroit is going to have to make a big push to Skubal as well as Scott Boras to get him to sign now, where I do think you could see him enter free agency. So I think that's going to be a discussion, especially with Detroit. But I think I really hope he comes back and doesn't just go top dollar somewhere else. I don't think he takes much of a discount. I think Detroit, it's hard to argue. Like, you should have just agreed with him and settled, because you are getting value no matter what. So they just got to pay him. I don't see how you don't look at what he does and being competitive without paying Skubal.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy, though, if they don't re-sign him? They go on a run, win the World Series, and then he leaves for the Dodgers or the Mets or something like that. I mean, I think that'd be crazy. That kind of would be like Kawhi with the Raptors. I know it was only one season then, but that kind of is what the feeling is in my mind of what that would be comparable to. But do you think that the Tigers re-sign Skubal to a long-term contract?
Yes. Yeah, I believe it happens.
Okay. I'm a little bit more in doubt, mainly because the Tigers have not shown that they wanted to pay him any money. Like, if you were going to pay him this year, this offseason was the season to do it, in my opinion. I know Boras and them, I don't know, but I think Skubal's a loyal guy, but he's not a stupid one. And if they're trying to pay him significantly less, I wouldn't blame him for going somewhere else. It's just like Juan Soto. Soto was not going to get paid the amount he got paid by the Yankees. He wasn't. And that the difference was a lot. So I don't blame him for doing what he did. Sure, I loved Soto's only year in pinstripes, and I'd love to have him back. But I don't blame him for the decision he made. Skubal's only played for one team, and the Tigers have treated him okay. Again, they didn't want to give him the money this time, but they're going to have to. But this is their make-or-break year. This is the most important season in Tigers' recent memory, ever since they lost to the Red Sox in the World Series in 2013. So it's been a long ride. And they lost the World Series in 2012. Yeah, I was right. They lost to the Giants in 2012. They lost in the ALCS in 2013 to the Red Sox, I believe. That's what happened. But Verlander was on that team, so they're going to have one of their main guys from back then showing up now. But I expect Verlander to be decent. I expect Valdez to be good. I expect their pitching staff to be good. But if they decide that, hey, we don't know if we're going to get him back, so we're just going to trade him then that kind of ruins everything they've been building for the past couple of years. But I don't expect them to make that move. I think, as I'm thinking about it more and more and more, I think they'll resign him.
Yeah, and I don't want him to hit the open market and go to a big team like the Dodgers or the Mets, especially not the Dodgers. And it's just hard to think like this is what you're building towards, as you said. And he has a huge impact on your team, and he was product of the system. So I really don't want him to see Detroit. So that's why I'm very optimistic he re-signs with them.
Yeah, I understand the optimism. I don't blame you for having it. We'll see. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, we will see him. We'll keep you updated throughout the whole process as it goes on. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.